79 euros for something that can compete with 1,600 euros. I am talking, of course, about the Valeton GP-5, which is said to rival a Quad Cortex. But this is 79 euros. A Quad Cortex is 1,599. That's a bit of a difference. Hello and welcome to another video with me, Elmo J. Karjalainen. It's good to have you along. If you can't say my last name, call me this guy. Or whatever. Today I'm checking out the Valeton GP-5. First of all, it's tiny, like a micro pedal. And it costs 79 euros, so the price is tiny. But it has all sorts of things built in, and you can load in more sorts of things. You can load in neural amp models, so you can model your amp if you have the right piece of gear to do it. I'll get into that later on. I've made two presets, and I'm going to go through some of these presets. Can it really hold its own against the Quad Cortex? I'm even going to feature a Quad Cortex in the video side by side with this. I don't have a Quad Cortex anymore. I used to have one. But I'm going to put this side by side with that through the magic of editing. That whole thing that you heard in the beginning, the whole thing will be available on Thursday. So please check back for that. Now let's get this hooked up and see what it does. Alright, so there it is hooked up. You can see it on the screen. It comes with an app. I'll post some pictures of the app. It's nothing, I mean, it's fairly standard stuff. You connect it via Bluetooth. It just has the two buttons, or the two knobs and one button. It works like this. Now it's a tuner. Not the best tuner in the world, but yeah, it does the job. So what I'm going to do, run through some presets, and then I've made one preset, then I've downloaded an IR and added that to my presets instead of a cab that's built in, and I've downloaded a neural amp model, the one that Glenn Fricker did over on Spectre Sound Studios. And the guitar I'm using is a custom Strat with a Seymour Duncan Little 59 humbucker, some Seymour Duncan single coil, I forget which one, and a DiMarzio HS3 in the neck. Alright, so here we go. Oh yeah, signal chain. Guitar into my pedal board, where everything's off at the moment, into that, and into the mixer, and into the DAW. So I'm not using an amp. Yeah, that kind of thing. When you press it once, it goes to the next one. That has some kind of modulation on it, which makes me feel a bit seasick. Power lead. I should have a wind machine, have my hair all open and yeah. Heavy distortion. Pure clean. Smooth lead. Bluesman. What? Big jazz. I have to play jazz now. That's the extent of my jazz abilities. Solo wah. Yeah, there's an auto wah there, but that's the best invention since sliced bread. Hard rock. Skip one because that's the one with the IR. UK fuzz. UK stack. Uh, 70 Britain. US lead. Okay, yeah. I'll do a couple more. Tweed. Another tweed. Clean tweed. It's just washed. Morse DP. Double no, not that. Metallica. Bellman clean. Yeah, some Tower of Power. Eddie Solo. EV-5 riff. Red May. Yeah. Guns N' Roses Distortion. Grunge. Dual rec. So this is probably a dual rectum fryer. And then you have certain bass things. So you can use this with a bass as well. I'm not going to start doing that today. Okay, so there's some noise. But this is the thing that Glenn Fricker has done. So here's the issue with this piece of gear compared to the Quad Cortex. The Quad Cortex, you just hook everything up the way it says. It gives you clear instructions, and then it models your amp or your pedal or whatever. With this, you need other gear. You need a reamp box and so on. I don't have a reamp box, so it'll probably be fine. But there's a learning curve to the whole neural amp model capture thing, according to Glenn Fricker, and I trust him. And I just thought, just leave it for now. If this is good, I might get around to that later. But let's see what he's done. Let's add a pedal. The Riverside, just a clean boost. So let's see what it sounds like with a 7-string. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Add some pedal. Okay, switch back guitars and go through the presets that I've done. Alright, so before I keep going, I would like to say that this video is very much sponsored by the good people who support this channel in various ways. If you do want to support the channel, there is a link in the description where if you buy something that way, you support the channel at no extra cost to you, even if you just buy your strings that way. Or this thing. The link is not a link to this actual thing. I don't feel comfortable promoting stuff that I'm reviewing unless it's really like mind-blowingly good. Also a shout out to Milehouse Studios. Thank you, Paul, for mentioning me in the video. I forget which one it was actually. But anyway, Paul has a great channel, Milehouse Studios. He does Lou Theory there and does some Monday fluff pieces as well. If you don't like swearing, don't go there. I don't really swear too much on the channel because, well, I like swearing, but I don't do it on the channel. All the way back to the beginning, because that's where I have my preset that I've done, which is a bit noise. Fiddle with the noise gates a bit. This is my Marshall Plexi type thing with an overdrive pedal. And I forget which one it was now. And this is the thing that I'm really curious about. This is that same sound, but I've replaced the cab with the impulse response done by Glenn Fricker, and I haven't tried this yet because I want it to be in the video, a live reaction. This is not a reaction channel. I don't react to things. I merely exist. He had a version where he'd EQ'd everything, like ready for a mix, I think. This shouldn't be that, but this is sounding like smaller. But maybe a bit better. It doesn't need to be hugely... when you sit a guitar in a mix with a bass, you're playing riffs. You don't want a lot of bottom end on your guitar anyway. Alright, so I know what I'm gonna say about this. But before I say anything about this, that funk thing that this whole video began with, that whole thing is coming out on Thursday. Normally I just post them on Patreon, those things, but you can find ad-free versions of these videos on Patreon. I thought I'd post it here on this channel, the whole thing. And please, check back on Thursday, because when I play any kind of musical performance, even if it's done properly, this is not something that's done properly, it's just a backing track that I've made and then I play over it, it's not a real song. But even if I do a real song, they do horribly, I mean really poorly, on YouTube. And that, frankly, that bums me out. But maybe that's just the way it is, maybe people aren't interested. But if you're interested in that kind of thing, please check back on Thursday. When I made that preset that I did, it sounded a bit familiar. And when I dug a bit deeper, I might have figured out why it sounded familiar. Here's the box for the Valeton GP. And it says, manufacturer Changsha Hotone Audio Company Limited. Hotone? Is Valeton kind of... Hotone? Do they make that? I don't know. Maybe that's why it sounded familiar, because I have the Hotone Ampero Stomp at home, too. And there was something reminiscent about the sound that this makes to the preset that's pretty much identical. I went for the Marshall type thing, the setup that I would have. Maybe that's why it sounds familiar. Maybe, I don't know. Comparing it to, let's just put two clips here. First, this one, and then the Hotone. So, that was really quick. Now, let's put this up against the Quad Cortex. Me sitting here in the studio recording this, I of course didn't hear what the Quad Cortex sounded like. It's been ages since I had that. But that costs 1,600 euros. This is 79 euros. So if you factor in price, I don't know why'd you get the Quad Cortex unless you're planning to use it for extensive gigging and or recording. If you just want something at home to demo stuff with, I'd be more than happy with this. You can do the bass stuff, yeah. It sounds good. It might be the kind of thing that I've noticed with, I had the Fractal Audio AXFX versions 1 and 2. I really liked them until I really got tired of them. The Quad Cortex I sold because I didn't use it enough. During the last 2 years that I had it, I used it twice, once per year. That's not enough for something that cost that much. It is a brilliant piece of gear. And it is fantastic that you can model anything with just that unit. It would be great to get something where you could just hook up the unit, something cheaper than the Quad Cortex. You hook up to the amp and it models the amp, and that would be, so you wouldn't have to muck about with other stuff. But this, I mean, we live in a world where you can get every amp on the face of the planet into a little mini pedal for 79 euros. Okay, if you do the neural amp thing, did I say it costs 79 euros? Did I forget to mention that? Yeah, absolutely insane stuff. If you want to see the Valeton Ampero stomp video, that's here. Other than that, I do hope you consider supporting the channel via the link in the description. But above all, I hope you enjoyed this and had some use of this. Take care. See you. Goodbye.